Today I'm working on a 2007 GMC Sierra. The other day, one of my tires was flat, and so I went to drop down the spare, and if you've had any experience with the spare tires on most of these trucks, they have a little crank deal. They have a tool set underneath the seat back here that you take out and you put together, and you use that tool to lower down the tire, theoretically anyway, because if your truck has any age on it at all, it rarely works. And so you're along the side of the road and you can't get the tire drop down, and so you basically have to call a tow truck anyway. So this is kind of the system they have. It has a cable running down to this device that sits here on your tire, and it kind of spring loaded. It has like the cable comes through here, and then there's like a welded washer on the end here, and that's what holds your tire up. So I took an angle grinder and ground that end off here so I could drop down the tire. I took some jack stands and supported the tire while I did that so it didn't fall on me. So this is the mechanism that they have in here. There's the shaft. This is the cable that I buzzed off the end of it. And this is what it looks like. It's kind of hanging like that, and your tire is obviously in between there. That goes up something like that, and it's pulling your tire up there. So these things, I don't know why they don't work over time. Obviously they probably get dirt and rust and stuff in there. So, oh, now it seems like, okay, it will go up. It will go up, but it will not. No, there it's, well, now that I've cut it and everything, now it seems to be working just fine. But the other day, I could not get it to drop down. This is the tool that you're gonna take out of the truck when you have a flat tire. It's held in like that, unscrews from the little threads that are in there, and then you put this together. They have pretty decent directions, kind of telling you how to put this tool together. So upon investigating and reading the instructions to these tools, I think the reason I didn't get it to work was because I thought that this end right here is the end that goes in to this hole right here. And actually, it's the square end. It's the end that has the box. That's the end you have to use to let this down. So when I actually use that, the cable lowers just fine. So I'm going to try to repair the cable that I buzzed off so that I can use the original system, because it still seems to be moving really good. But in the meantime, you'll kind of see the inner workings of how that works. And so if you run into problems, you'll kind of know what to do, or maybe where to start trying to figure things out. I put a couple sections of this together. They have these little beads here that lock, and then you just shove your tool in here. And that there's a shaft here that lines you up with the shaft that you need to rotate. And I'm gonna pull this out so you can see. So yeah, your tool comes in like this, and it has to get on that square shaft, and that can be a little challenging. And then you just rotate it, and it just drops down your tire. So I buzzed off the very end of my cable so I could get this down the other day when I was trying to figure out what was going on. So today I'm gonna have to take and run this back down through and figure out a way to get that cable back onto the end of this. I was kind of hard on my spring as well, but I think it'll be fine. It's old rusty spring, but it just gives a little bit of a cushion so when you hit bumps and stuff, it doesn't tear up your system. So how this works is this cable this thing goes through here like this. Your cable runs through like this. If I can get it done here. Oh, I got some burrs on the end of it here. I'll have to clip some of those off. Yeah, I don't know why well, I know part of it because none of us want to read the directions, but when you're on the side of the road and you have car trouble, who wants to read directions, figure out how these work? But mine might have still been in good enough shape. It might have worked if I would have read them, but instead I just couldn't get that tire to drop, so I just gave up. So I got a bunch of crud in the end of that hole, so I'm gonna get a drill and clean that out so that cable will go through there better. So I got it through, so I know I can at least get it through there. Pull it back out. This piece goes on first, and you'll see how it works here in a minute. It's a little challenging getting this through. There we go. So that's how that goes. And then the spring will go over here, and then I have to have a washer here, and then that's how it sits, I believe. Well, that's how mine will sit, because I messed up the spring. Oh, I might do this. I bought a couple extra washers. I might do this so that way it'll be narrow up here where it should be. All right, so that's what we got. Cable comes through there. Now I just have to find a way to tie this end off. Well, that gives you a good view of how this whole system works. And then when you get ready to put your tire on, I'll show you how you get this cable through your tire with that piece being on there. You take this, and when you bring it up here, then it'll fit through the center hole of that tire, and you're good to go. So I gotta find something to clamp this end off here. This mechanism has a lot of cable, so you have plenty to work with. There we go. All right, I was looking through my supplies, you could call it. I don't really have what I need to clamp off this cable, so I do have this electrical connector right here that will work, I think, but I recommend getting the correct cable clamps or crimps in this situation. You don't want your tire falling off. So now we want this piece, this spring up here, and then our big washer, our smaller washer, and then this little clamping deal I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna take it through and then go back through, something like that right there. So that will keep it pinched really good. I would recommend that you get the right cable clamps if you're close to town, but I am not, so I'm using this for now. I think this will work just fine. It's kind of the same concept. And I think this clamp, this electrical connector here, is got some rust-proof properties. That's what we got. Let's get this tire on here and see if it pulls it up. Let it down some more, hon. All right, now tighten it up. All right, that's what we got. Well guys, that gives you an idea of how this spare tire mechanism works. So if you ever get stuck along the side of the road, at least you'll have a better idea. And if you go to YouTube for advice, maybe you can find this video and hope it helps you out. So that's how I'm fixing mine for now. Until next time guys, good luck with all your projects.